So it's been a while since I've finished everything in the Japanese tech tree, and today I'm going to be talking about the most overpowered weapon in the game, because it appears that Japan has one of the most overpowered weapons in the game as of right now. Of course, I am talking about the Type A automatic rifle. This weapon is essentially so good, and in this video you exactly will see why. In this video, we will be covering the history, the stats, and why this weapon is so OP that you should use it. And don't question whether or not you should be using this, but you should be questioning how many kills you can get per game with this weapon. So that's that. That said, of course, this video has been made possible for the friends at Discord, meaning if you haven't like, subscribed, or joined the Discord, I highly suggest that you do. But that said, let's get started. Starting with the history, the Type A rifle was one of 3 self-loading automatic rifle designs commissioned by the Imperial Japanese Army for military trials. It was designed by Dr. Masaya Kawamura, and it was produced at the Nippon Special Steel Factory. The first prototypes were then constructed in 1932, of which around 50 of them were built. Trials then took place in 1935, however none of the rifles were considered to be suitable for service, and the project costs were just too high to justify the production run. So the project was, of course, cancelled. During World War II, small numbers of the Type A rifles were available, and then were pressed into service and captured by American troops in the Pacific. More specifically for this video, Dr. Kawamura also developed a fully automatic variant of the Type A rifle, which you have in-game. This is an extended 20-round magazine that was not taken into service. This version was also called Experimental Ultra-Light Machine Guns. Of this variant was tested in 1938. Additional adaptations were rejected due to its low reliability and high fire rate, which is something that we'll see with this weapon. I've also heard from other sources that it was going to be having a round of 30 magazines or 50 magazines, which if Enlisted does add that, that means this thing will be beyond overpowered, but fortunately for you and me, that has not been found be confirmed, so that's that. In terms of the stats, this weapon has a hit power of 11.5 at 3 stars, meaning this thing is really good. It has a 30-round magazine, has a vertical recoil at 60, horizontal recoil at 22, and overall, it's a very good weapon. It also comes with a bipod and a bayonet, which in theory should decrease the recoil even further. So that's that. Now let's get on to the fact now why this thing is OP as hell. Number 1, this thing is not good. This thing is beyond OP, this is what I'm saying. This is essentially a ray gun. The recoil is light to the point that you can just ray shooting people. I find myself using this gun more like a AK-47, and a good version of the AK-47, unlike most weapons. As a matter of fact, I think this is better than the FG-42, which for me really is a good weapon because of the sights. This thing for me has really good sights, but that is once again a personal preference. What's more is that it has a bayonet, like I just said. That said bayonet is actually extremely useful in close quarters combat or rushing to the point, which is extremely useful. It also comes with a bipod, of which I don't think a lot of people are going to be using. But that said, it is also going to be facing the Americans, which means you're going to be facing the M2 and the entire American lineup, which is at this point very lacking. As a matter of fact, the Japanese trump so hard in almost all categories, so that's very good. And like I said, you're playing as Japan, which means you have some of the most broken lineups that you can bring into the game, for Tier 5 especially. I'll maybe do a video about other planes and tanks that Japan can bring, if you are interested. But, to recap, this thing is not good. Once again, this thing is OP, and if this thing isn't nerfed or nerfed somehow with damage or fire rate, then I wouldn't actually be surprised, because this thing is carrying games for Japan. The only reason why Japan is not outright dominating everything, actually no, never mind, I take that back, is the fact that Japan doesn't have a lot of players, which is, as of right now, the opposite of what Japan has. Japan not only has the players, but also has the skill, and most importantly, Japan also has the weapons that can carry the game. As a matter of fact, things are gotten so bad for the Americans that no one plays them anymore, which is fun. But, of course, Enlisted should essentially think of nerfing this weapon, because this weapon is a little bit overpowered. Is it going to be historically inaccurate? That's right, but I will accept it, because this thing is beyond overpowered. And of course, if you want to play this, I highly suggest that you play it before the nerf comes in. So that's that. Anyway, I don't even know when the nerf is gonna come. If it does come, I will actually not be surprised, but if it doesn't come, I also won't be surprised. That said, this is the most overpowered weapon in Enlisted right now. Get it, use it, play it, have fun, and that's that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one.